All right, we're about to pull apart one of the most powerful, unspoken rules there is. You know the one. It's so deeply baked into our society that a lot of us mistake it for a virtue. But what if the very thing we're all told to praise is actually what's holding us back?
I mean, think about it. From the time we're kids, the message is crystal clear, right? Believe, have faith, don't ask too many questions. Questioning is, well, it's a sign of weakness. But today, we're going to challenge that entire foundation. We're going to ask a completely different question. What if that thing we've all been taught to fear is actually the key to something way more honest?
Okay, so let's start with what we're all told. Let's dig into this unspoken rule. You could even call it the lie we all kind of agree to live by.
Let's be real for a second. I mean, truly honest. It doesn't matter if it's about your job, a relationship, or some huge belief system you were raised with. Pretty much every single one of us has had doubts. It's a fundamental part of being a thinking, feeling person.
And yet, we don't talk about it, do we? It's like this secret we all keep locked up. And why is that? It's because we're taught from day one that admitting you have doubts means you're weak. It's a flaw. It's a failure of belief.
And that right there is the core of the whole problem. I mean, if everyone feels this, why do we treat it like it's some kind of disease? Why is this incredibly common, totally normal human experience framed as this dangerous secret, a moral failing that you have to hide no matter what?
So to really understand why, we have to take a step back and redefine the word itself. And that brings us to what we're calling the anatomy of a question, where we're going to deconstruct this supposed sin.
So, just for a minute, let's just throw out that label of sin. What if we look at doubt a different way? What if doubt is just the mind asking for more clarity? It's not an attack. It's not a rebellion. It's just a request. It's a belief that's pausing and having the honesty to say, hey, help me understand this better.
Okay, so that leads to a really big question then. If doubt is just a simple search for understanding, why the huge negative reaction? Why is it treated like this dangerous weapon instead of, a tool for learning?
Well, the answer to that leads us straight to a mechanism of control. Let's call it the industry of fear. This is where we really get into why certain questions are shut down so fast.
And here's the real uncomfortable truth of it all. A question is totally harmless until it starts to challenge authority. See, doubt isn't feared because it's evil or bad. It's feared because it threatens power structures. The second you start asking why you believe something, control starts to slip away.
And this is where you see the fundamental choice any authority has to make. You've got two paths. On one side, you have understanding. And yeah, it's messy. It takes time, but it leads to real growth. Then you have the other path, fear. And fear is, well, it's incredibly efficient. It just stops questions cold and demands one thing, obedience.
And that's the big illusion, isn't it? We're sold this idea that being silent, that not asking questions, that it's a sign of loyalty, a sign of deep faith. But what if it's not? What if that silence is really just fear, just wearing a mask of devotion?
Okay, but here's where we're going to flip the whole script. This brings us to a really powerful idea, the strength of a scar. This is where we see that doubt, the very thing we're told to run from, is actually the thing that forges a truly unbreakable belief.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. A faith that's never been doubted? Well, it's never really been tested, has it? It's fragile. It's just a borrowed idea someone handed to you. Real strength doesn't come from avoiding the struggle. It comes from going through it and coming out the other side. A belief that has wrestled with doubt and won, now that's a belief that is truly yours.
You can almost break it down into two stages. We all start at step one, borrowed faith. This is what you're told to believe by your family, your community, your culture. And look, there's nothing wrong with that as a place to start. But to get to step two, to get to an honest belief, that requires something more. It requires you to test it for yourself. And that test, well, that test is doubt.
So really, it all boils down to this one central conflict. Doubt just asks a simple question, is this true? But fear gives a simple command, do not ask. It's that simple. One leads to growth and the other leads nowhere.
So maybe, just maybe, the enemy of faith isn't doubt at all. Maybe the real enemy is fear. The fear that tells you that you're not allowed to ask those questions in the first place. That's the thing that truly eats away at belief.
And all of this brings us to one final thought. And I want you to really take this one personally.
Because this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea we're talking about.
So I'll leave you with this question. What's the one thing, the one question, you've been taught you're not allowed to ask? Think about it. In your life, in your own head, what's that one topic that feels too dangerous to touch? Because right there, that's where the fear is. And maybe, just maybe, that's also where your truest belief is waiting to be discovered.